This week, we introduce you to a man whose mother rejected pressure to abort him. Born prematurely and blind, this man is now a world-traveling musician who says he wants to be a fisher of men with his music. This is no ordinary concert hall. It's a home. And this is no ordinary musician. Carlos Alberto Ibay has overcome a significant obstacle to share his talents with the world. After trying to have a baby for 10 years, Carmencita and Roman Ibay were thrilled to learn they were pregnant, but doctors didn't share their optimism.
I was very sick. See, that's why the doctor advised me to abort him, because they were afraid I might die. And it's the baby that is causing my blood pressure to rise, to be high. But I said he was not doing anything. Just leave him alone, because he was not doing anything. And then they told me, we're afraid that if he's born and he was premature, he will be like a vegetable and you will have more problems. I said, he's not doing anything, just leave him alone. So I'm glad they did.
Rejecting doctors' pressure to abort, the Ibays welcomed their son Carlos Alberto, who goes by Chuckie, into the world. But being 3 months premature, Chuckie weighed in at just over 1 pound and had retinal detachment, meaning he was blind. Born with a disability, his parents were grateful he was born at all. They watched him grow stronger and healthier, and when he was 2, watched in awe as their miracle son showed to be something of a child prodigy.
I discovered my interest to play the piano when I was 2 years old. You see, we had a small organ in the house, and I went up to it, and without looking for the notes, I just played a perfect rendition, according to my parents, of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
I noticed Chuckie start walking and went to the organ. And that's when I caught. I said, what is he doing there? So I took a film of him so you could see that in the video. And then he made it and started to explore his hands on the keys. And that's when he started feeling everything. I heard the twinkle, twinkle. I said, oh, no. He must have done this maybe when we're not around or something. I told my wife, look what he's doing. And that's the start.
It was the start of what would become Chuckie's passion and livelihood. The blind Catholic musician travels the world as an accomplished concert pianist and singer.
I've played, of course, in Italy, some parts of Italy, Spain, Russia, and I was blessed to play in Cuba.
His talents have reached the stages of New York's Carnegie Hall to performance centers in 5 continents overall. He's been able to speak the language of every country in which he's performed. In addition to English,
hello, everybody.
Chuckie speaks 7 languages: French,
Bonjour tout le monde.
German,
Guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren.
Italian,
Buongiorno, signori e signore.
Spanish,
Buenos días, señoras y señores.
Russian,
Здравствуйте, дамы и господа.
Japanese,
Konnichiwa-san.
and Portuguese.
Boa tarde, senhores e senhores.
But he's most fluent in music, which is what brought him to the Vatican and to meeting 2 popes, including a saint.
I told him to ask the Holy Father if he could pray that he could see. Never even ask anything about the sight.
When he approached me, we embraced, he gave me a rosary, and I told him that I would like to be a fisher of men with my music. When I met Pope John Paul, Saint John Paul now, since I love Chopin, I told him that I would like for him to pray for me to be the second Chopin.
John Paul II is one of the many saints Chuckie has come to know and love.
I have a devotion to Saint Cecilia. Saint Cecilia is the patroness of music, and I have kindly asked her to be my piano teacher. I've also developed a strong devotion to Saint Anthony. Saint Anthony is now my most trusted voice teacher.
As Chuckie leans on his heavenly teachers, his parents say his extraordinary life is a lesson of faith in and of itself.
When I found out that he was blind, of course I was devastated. I was really, really disheartened because I thought God was punishing me. I said, what have I done that you have done this? So I was telling the priest, and the priest said, why do you think the Lord is punishing you? Why don't you think that the Lord is hugging you and wanting you to be for Him alone? And that's why He gave you this. When He gave you something, remember, He will never leave you alone. And it's true. He never left us alone. Every time you will see the hand of God in everything that we do.
With the saints by his side, Chuckie brings his gifts to concert halls around the globe and back to the one who gave them to him.